Alright, what's up, y'all? Capo, self recording artist, producer, and engineer out of Chicago, Illinois. Today I'm going to be doing a full guide to recording and mixing your own vocals. So I'm going to show you how to make your own template, your own recording presets, your own main and ad-lib presets, and how to mix your music. We're going to get into all that. And I'll be starting by just showing you how to set up for recording. Alright, so let's start there. Let's open FL like that. I'm gonna add a background image. And yeah, so the first thing I would recommend doing, go on song mode when you're ready to record. You can't record on pattern mode. Put it on song mode, and then right click this button. Really, all you need checked is audio starts playback and recording starts playback and disarm on stop. And you don't have to really check any of these other things. So copy these settings, and then you want to go to options, your audio settings. If you're using a USB microphone, you're going to be using your FL Studio audio, and I will recommend putting it on like 256 if you're using a USB microphone, but it's going to have delay. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to assume you have an interface. So we're going to use our interface USB audio, and we're going to have our buffer length on 16 for when we're recording, so we get the smallest amount of milliseconds of delay, which is 1. So we can boost this. 1024 is for like playback, but if you're recording, put this on 16 so it's virtually no delay, and copy these settings. Next, we're going to go over here or press F9 on your keyboard. We're going to view the mixer channel, right? And then if we clicked any of these inserts, I will go right here to this button right here that says EQ. Select what is included when recording audio. We want to put this on external input only. Okay? We don't want to post EQ because it's going to record our effects as we're recording, and we don't want to do that. We only want to record dry signal from our microphone, so we put this on external input only, and when armed, make sure it's like that. So then when you turn your microphone on, I now have my microphone on inside FL Studio. Go to your master, add a soft clipper like that. And then I'm also going to add a Voxengo so you'll be able to hear me. I'm going to do my settings like that so you can hear me when I stream it to my OBS. Okay? Let me change my OBS audio. And now you'll be able to hear me through my FL. Okay? So now I have my input 1 set up through my FL. Let's go into actually finding a beat and putting the beat into our FL now that we got our mic active, okay? So you could just go to YouTube. You could go with any producers. I recommend finding producers. Look up the type of beat you want. Know your genres, but for today, I already know what producer beats I want to use. I'm going to be using this one. Right, so when you have the beat you want to use, if you like, how do I explain? If you haven't been making music for a long enough time, you might not be able to tell when it's detuned. But like, I could tell this beat isn't detuned because it doesn't sound like it. And a lot of these producers don't put the key and BPM in their description, but he does. But we're just going to assume that there's no BPM and there's no key in the description. So right here, we're just going to copy the link of the beat. I don't know why it does that. It just makes it like a playlist for me. But I'm going to copy the actual link of the beat, or I could copy this whole thing. And then I'm going to put it into ogmp3.sbs. I'm going to paste it right there, and the MP3 quality is going to be on the highest. So we have the highest quality MP3, right? And a lot of these won't tell you the key and BPM, but right here it says 149 E major. So I'm just going to show y'all the method for verifying the key and BPM before you even get started, right? Now the first method is using tunebat.com. My fault. Tunebat.com/analyzer. We could just drag our file like this. Oops. We could just drag the file like this. And then it's going to tell us, you see how it doesn't say E major, it says A major? The AI isn't going to always be accurate. Like, it might give us a halftime, like 74 times 2. What is that? That's 148. You see how it's off from what the actual producer is saying? So sometimes your tune bet isn't going to be accurate, and I'm going to show you how we can verify if it's accurate. So now that we downloaded our beat, we're going to drag it into our FL like this. We're going to double click the file, and we're going to turn our trim on 100%. So all of the dead space that was right here, we want to remove that so the beat could be lined up with the metronome. Like that. We want to line that up with the metronome. So we do that. And then I'm going to show you a way right now how to find out, okay? So right here, I'm going to double click again. I'm going to put this on track 1. I'm going to scroll up, put this on track 1. And I'm going to turn this down for when I'm recording so it's not bleeding through. Right? And you can hear how it's off beat. So now what I also can do, I can click this icon right here. And then I could put on detect tempo, right? And then if I was to do 100 to 200, it gave me a BPM, right? We're going to set to 149. And then if we zoom in, the way you check if your beat is lined up is if it's hitting on beat. Like, you'll be able to see if the 808s are lined up. Like, you hear that? You hear how it's hitting on beat? It's hitting on beat. So our beat is now quantized. That's what it means. When you line your beat up with the BPM, you now have your beat quantized, right? But that's not it. Now we want to find the key. So what we're going to do, we're going to go onto the insert where we have our beat. We're going to add an auto key, okay? This is an external plugin. If you need it, join my Discord. But basically what this does is it's going to tell us the key and BPM better than a TuneBat analyzer would. So for this to work, I'm going to go here. I'm going to turn it on 1024. And then I'll be back when it's done analyzing. Okay? You can still hear me, but let's do it. All right, so you see how we got a little detune. Hold on. I'm putting it back on 16. So you see how we got this 1 hertz of detune? That matters. So the key is C sharp minor, which is equivalent to E major. It's good to know that every minor scale has 1 equivalent major scale and vice versa. So the equivalent of C sharp minor is E major. Right here it tells us the BPM is 149. And it tells us right here it's detuned by 1 hertz. So now we get into actually making the recording preset, right? So we can delete that. We could turn this back up a little bit. And let's make the recording preset, okay? So first, what we're going to do, if you don't have auto-tune, you can use a pitcher. So it told us the key was C sharp, and it was detuned by 1. So if you look in the top left corner, you can see how much I'm fine-tuning it. This is only if you don't have auto-tune. This is a stock auto-tune. So I'm going to test it. Now, the third way of finding out the key is simply by singing your heart out. And sometimes it works but remember, a lot of keys are relative, meaning they're almost the same, but they're not. Like if I used C sharp minor and then I went to D sharp minor, you can hear the difference, but it's still subtle. You see what I'm saying? Like, or even B sharp minor. It's like small changes between them and you can see them here, right? So if I look right here, C sharp minor is the same as E major. You see that? Look at these. Literally the same. So let's test it though. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now let's see what Toonbat said. A major. Let's try A major. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's why I say so. It's A major. This is why it's important to sing, because the AI isn't going to always give you an accurate answer. But now let's just get into making the recording preset. I'm going to put Auto Tune Pro. And when you put Auto Tune Pro, you're going to hear delay. Click here. And we're going to put use low latency. So now I have a low latency and now it's no delay. I'm going to detune this to 49. And I'm going to put the key on A major. So you see, even the auto key was wrong. So the best method is really singing your heart out. And for the retune speed, putting it on 0 is going to be too robotic. I would recommend putting it like this. This is just what I do. And yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like if you hit those high notes and you like scale, see if you just you won't really be able to tell. But if you like like if you go up and down vocally, you're gonna be able to tell if it's on key. All right. So I think I wasted enough time. We can actually get into recording. So I'm gonna, before we start recording, I'm gonna go right here under my auto tune and I'm gonna add a fruity limiter. Click here where it says presets, and then I'm gonna add a noise gate. So now, I don't know if you noticed, when I turn the noise gate off, you can hear that white noise in my room. When I turn it on, that noise is gone. So for it to work, you wanna turn your gain on 0, turn this all the way down, turn your noise gate gain all the way down, and then turn your threshold up until you can't hear the noise anymore. If you turn it too high, it's gonna cut out. See what I'm doing? If you turn it too high, it's gonna cut out your vocals and it's gonna sound choppy. So don't cut it up too high or it's gonna chop out way too much. All you need is your mic at a good volume, where all you need is a little threshold. Okay? And the release also helps with how choppy it is. So we're gonna leave that like that. Then we're gonna click where it says compress. Now we're using our fruity limiter to dually noise gate and act as a compressor. So I'm gonna turn this to about 25 so it could be noticeable. And then I'm gonna turn the ratio up by 5. So now we have a noticeable compression on our voice. 25 to 5. 5:1 ratio. Like that. So now we have a noticeable compressor on our vocals. So now if I get close to my mic, you see, it works. Okay? That's just, this is our recording preset. So now that you have that set up, you're ready to record. I'm gonna go record. When you want to record, you can turn this button right here, the recording pre-count, for a countdown. Or you could turn it off if you don't want that, but you can hit R, or you can press this record button, and it's gonna start recording your vocals. Yeah, yeah. And if you don't want to hear yourself while you're recording, go down to your insert. Just hit this knob. If you don't want to hear yourself while you're recording, just hit this knob, and you won't be able to hear yourself while you're recording. Okay? So now I'm going to record something. All right, so now what we going to do is the ad-libs. I'm going to disarm this. I'm going to add my input to a new insert, and I'm just going to do the same thing I did right here with a recording preset. I'm going to add my auto-tune. All right. Go here, put it on low latency, 439. Put this on 3. And then I'm going to add a limiter for my noise gate. And then I'm going to compress my vocals as well. So now what I'm doing is I'm making this is my main recording preset and this is my ad-lib recording preset. They're the same, but I'm separating them for the sake of recording. So now I'm about to record my ad-libs on my second recording preset like this. Alright, so when y'all done recording, the process we're about to go through right now, I'm about to just clean up these vocals like this. All I'm doing is cutting out the little, you feel me, unnecessary tails. So right now what I'm doing, I'm cutting the tails off my vocal recordings. So I'm gonna do Alright, so we back. So now all of the tails have been cut. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my mic back on here. I'm gonna disarm it from here, okay? So let's reset the volume of our beat and just the volume of our recording presets. Now we're ready into actually making our stuff, okay? So what we're gonna do for our main preset, we're gonna route to this track only, route it to an empty slot. And then for our ad-lib recording preset, we're also going to click one of these and then route to this track only. So we're clicking these enable sends and we're routing them to one track only. So it's only routed to this track, or insert 2 is only routed to insert 4 and insert 3 is only routed to insert 5, okay? So now we're going to start actually making our preset set, okay? So honestly, we can do the same thing. We can add an auto-tune and another compressor. So now what we're doing right now is making our main preset, okay? So we're going to do that. I'm just going to put this on 0 for demonstration. And that's on low latency. And then we're going to add another limiter preset on noise gate. And then this time we're just going to compress it like 10. Put the compressor on 10. We're only going to compress it, put the compressor ratio on 2.5 like that. So a little bit compression because we already got a compressor, right? So now the next steps, we're going to open a parametric EQ. So I'm going to mute my ad-libs and I'm going to turn the beat down again. And all we want to do, we want to listen for the harshest frequencies in our mix. And then we're going to cut them out here.
No, you ain't gonna do nothing, boy, you not on shit.
So I'm gonna raise it up, and then I'm gonna use my scroll wheel to make it more narrow.
Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Look back how she won't fuck. I just, that's where I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch.
So we gonna take that down. Don't cut it out too much. If you look in the top left corner, don't cut it like more than -3 dB.
I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get
so right now what we're doing is frequency sweeping for the worst frequencies, and we're just cutting them out. And I'm using my scroll wheel to make it wider or more narrow, okay?
Bitch, no, I got gas like Chico.
So that's another bad sound I don't want.
Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed.
We gonna turn this up to 2.5, and then we gonna turn this down.
I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck.
We gonna put that's like 250, and then we gonna turn this down to 3. We gonna turn that down to 3.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bad little hoe, but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on the fit hoe. You know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Lil' bad she want fuck. I judge, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking.
We gonna turn that down right there too.
I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch. I got a thing for bad bitches, yeah, I love my sluts. Baby, I been sipping lean, it's all been out the cuts. No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit.
We gonna make this a little wider.
No, I got gas like shit go.
Then we gonna cut that down to 1.5.
Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton.
And now, honestly, we gonna put this on high pass.
I got money like a lottery.
And then we're just gonna drag this to like the 100 range. We're gonna put this on like 100, like right there. And then hit the scroll wheel and put that on like 67%. Or we could put on like 6.7, like 6.7. So we get this curve right here. This is the type of curve you want, okay? We want it to kind of curve like this, all right? And now, that's just our first EQ. So for our first EQ, we're making these cuts to the ugly frequencies in our mix. All right, and now we're gonna add another EQ, and the second EQ is to boost the frequencies we want in our mix, okay? So let's take another listen.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bad little hoe, but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on the fit hoe. You know
gonna boost that like right there.
Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Lil' bad she want fuck. I judge, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch. I got a thing for bad bitches, yeah, I love my sluts. Baby, I been sipping lean, it's all been out the cuts. No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bad little hoe, but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on the fit hoe, you know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton.
So what I'm doing right now, I'm just sweeping. I'm going through and just hearing like what sounds good. This is literally me boosting whatever sounds good. But don't boost too much. Boost like 3. You feel me? We're keeping it like.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know
I need some right here. You see what I mean?
That's not my bitch, no.
I definitely need some right here.
Fin throw on the fit hoe. You know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got
we can turn that down all the way like this.
And
then we'll move the frequency.
I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch.
We gonna cut to like 111 as well.
I got a thing for bad bitches, yeah, I love my sluts. Baby, I been sipping lean, it's all been out the cuts.
And then for this, we gonna move it like,
I pop out with that chopper,
we gonna move it like right here.
Bad little hoe, but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on the fit hoe, you know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Lil' bad she want fuck. I judge, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck.
So we just gonna do that like that. Then we gonna put this on 4. So now let's hear that again.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I
so you see how it sound like that? We gonna put this to 100. And we gonna also put this on 100. Cause it sound like we cutting out too much low end.
I got pounds of weed a ton.
So we gonna cut to like 99.
That's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch. I got a thing for bad bitches.
Alright, so we took care of the EQing part. Where's it? My fault, y'all. Okay, so now let's move on. We're going to add a compressor. So the compressor is to bring up what we already compressed. we're gonna put this one on like 15, and then we're gonna put the ratio on like, we're gonna put the ratio on 15 as well. And then we're gonna have an instant attack. We're gonna put this on vintage. And then we're gonna add like 5 dB of gain, so it's not sounding quiet.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. But I love, but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on a fit hoe. You know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run.
So we got that. And now what we also gonna add is a Maximus. Like this. Go to presets, de-esser narrow band, and you could really just turn this down to like -3, and it's going to be doing some de-essing. And you can also change this point. I would change this point to like right here on 18.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. But I love, but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on a fit hoe. You know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun.
So we do that. Then we're gonna add a sound goodizer right here. You can hear which one sounds good.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. But I love, but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on a fit hoe. You know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Lil' Bow, she want fuck. I judge, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch. I gotta
And
think.
now we're gonna add a flangus for this song. Where is it at? Really, you can just use any of these presets. I'm gonna use this one. I made these, like these aren't in the default, but you could just use like the default and change it like this.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. But I love,
Turn it down.
but that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit go. Fin throw on a fit hoe. You know I rich hoe. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make
And if
niggas
you want
run.
that flangus to be more powerful, you can add stereo separation to your insert.
I got pounds of weed a ton. Lil' Bow, she want fuck. I judge, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch.
And now what we're gonna do for our reverb and delay, hit this arrow. You know we got our we're gonna put our ad-lib preset right here. But so on an empty slot, like insert 6, we're gonna just click this arrow, and then we're gonna click another one. So take 2 empty inserts and route them to this one, right? And now what you want to do is you want to go here and add a reverb and turn the dry all the way down, and then go to the other empty one, add a delay 3 and turn the dry all the way down. Okay, that's going to keep it from you can also click this key pitch right here, but that's going to keep it from multiplying your vocals in the mix. So turn the dry signals of those all the way down, and then we're going to go under them and add a fruity limiter, and we're going to compress them. So we're going to compress this about like 5. Actually, no, we're going to compress it about 6, and the threshold is going to be at 24 for our reverb. And then for our delay, we're going to put the compression rate at 6 and the threshold even lower at like 36. So it's going to be really quiet. It's going to be really side chain. So what we're doing, all we're doing right now is side chaining. I'm going to put that on 35. We're side chaining our reverb and delay to our main. So let me give an example of that. I'm going to turn our preset back on like this. So now you can
hear the
whenever I stop talking though,
my delay is gonna be way louder in my mix.
And if it sounds too
And if it sounds too loud, you could just turn the wet knob down for the reverb right here.
And you can
also turn, you can adjust like your
if it sounds like
it's too loud, you can turn this level and cutoff knob.
It's gonna make it like
It's gonna make it like shorter.
So if I turn my
cutoff right here,
it's gonna sound way
quieter. And if I turn my level down,
it's gonna be cutting out
way faster.
So that's just how
you make it
sound way better.
And now I have my delay sidechain to my main preset. So if I change this more,
you will hear less.
of it. If I increase the ratio and I lower the threshold, the less of it you will hear while I'm talking.
And then if I turned
it up,
the more of it
you will hear while I'm talking.
But we gonna leave it.
On 35 and right here, so it sounds really sidechained.
As for my
reverb,
I'm gonna turn it up and
turn up the decay.
And then I'm gonna turn some of this
high cut and low cut down.
And then I'm just gonna
turn some more wet down.
Okay.
So
now we got our
reverb and our delay sidechain. Let's hear how that sound in our mix.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bella, hope that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit, go. Fin throw on the fit, ho. You know I rich, ho. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet found I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Lil' Bell, she want fuck. I judge, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch. I got a thing for bad bitches, yeah, I love my sluts. Baby, I been sipping lean, it's all been off the cuts. No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bella, hope that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit, go. Fin throw on the fit, ho. You know I rich, ho. Yeah, dab on my son. Bet found I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton.
Oh yeah, I forgot to. Oh my gosh, y'all gotta add sidechain. Y'all gotta add. So right here where it says sidechain, scroll that up to 1. Scroll up to 1, and do the same. Yeah, like y'all gotta make sure it's sidechain. Yeah, I forgot to tell y'all that. So click this one, put that sidechain on 1.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bella, hope that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit, go. Fin throw on the fit, ho. You know I rich, ho.
So you see how it's too
Yeah,
much
dab
compression?
on my son.
It's sounding way louder now. So what we gonna do? We gonna go here. We gonna turn this up a little bit and turn that down a little bit.
Bet found I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Lil' Bell, she want fuck. I judge, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck. Sensitive to touch, leave her walking with a crutch. I got rounds like hula hoop, make them jump like double dutch. I got a thing for bad bitches, yeah, I love my sluts. Baby, I been sipping lean, it's all been off the cuts. No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bella, hope that's not my bitch. No, I got gas like shit, go. Fin throw on the fit, ho. You know I rich, ho.
Alright, so we did all that, and now really, you can save your main preset. It's whatever you want to save it as, main, right? And then if you dragged it over to right here where you got your ad lib, we could just really make this an ad lib, right? And to make it an ad lib, all we honestly have to do is add, like you see what I did, I arranged it, and then I'm going to add a love filter right here. And I'm probably going to put it on low pass. So let me mute my main vocals. Turn these on.
Whoa, whoa.
Like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And
No, yeah, throwing a fit, Norris.
My son, yeah, in real life, yeah,
Whoa, I'm on drugs.
go, yeah, 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 yeah. Capo, bad bitches, ooh, whoa.
So we do that like that. And then we could also add like a it's called a fruity filter. You can really hit randomize. I ain't gonna lie.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa.
you see what I mean?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No.
Norris, my son, yeah, in real life, yeah, whoa, I'm on drugs.
Go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Capo.
And then we're going to do the exact same thing we did with our main preset. Route it to 2 empty slots. Put a reverb and a delay. And actually for our main, we're going to go to our main delay send. And we're going to put this on 8. Because for our ad-lib delay, we're actually going to put that on 4. We're going to have that faster. Okay? So keep up. Rewind if you need to. Turn this dry all the way down. Turn this dry all the way down. Right? And now we have our ad-lib preset routed. We're going to add a limiter. Fruity limiter. Go to compressor. We're going to add threshold like that. You don't have to add the exact numerical values, but it has to, I would say it should look the same. Then we're going to add a limiter here. I'm going to compress the shoots out of that. And then, yeah, that's basically the gist of it. So now if we do our ad-libs.
Whoa, whoa.
See?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. No, yeah. We're on a fit, Norris. My son, yeah. In real life, yeah. Whoa. I'm on drugs. Go, yeah, 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 yeah. Capo. Bad bitches. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Oh yeah, oh yeah. No. Yeah. We're on a fit, Norris. My son, yeah. In real life, yeah. Whoa. I'm on drugs.
And now what I'm doing, I'm changing the stereo separation to just give it like a different, like, you feel me? Because the stereo separation does make a difference in your mix. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. So I'm going to put this on like 50. This should be on like 60 or 70. Then we're going to put this like the same. All right. So now I'm going to click these knobs to swap the left and right. I'm telling you, this stuff matters. Like, it looks like I'm doing random stuff, but it just makes it sound a certain way. And now that I'm done, let's hear our song all together. Let's hear how we sounding. Let's turn our beat up.
No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bad love, but that's not my bitch, no. I got gas like Chico, fin throw on the field. You know I'm rich, ho. Yeah, dab on my son, bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas double dutch. I got a thing for bad bitches, yeah, I love my sluts. Baby, I've been sipping lean, it's all been off the cuts. No, you ain't gon' do nothing, boy, you not on shit. I pop out with that chopper, yeah, you know I get it lit. Bella, but that's not my bitch, no, I got gas like Cisco. Been throwing a fit, huh? You know I rich, huh? Yeah, dab on my son, bet phone I'ma take his gun. In real life, make niggas run. I got pounds of weed a ton. Look back, she want fuck. I just, that's why I'm stuck. I got money like a lottery, it ain't no luck.
And that's really like my process to recording. It's really not much more to it. All you're doing from there is making tweaks, making arrangements and stuff. And that's really it. So I hoped this video really did help y'all. From this point, it's just adding plugins and making changes. So y'all basically understand what's going on now. And I really hope this helped, man. Let me know what I should do for my next video. Signing out. I'll catch y'all the next time. Peace.